Introduction. Our view of the nature of the universe and of the place of humans within it has changed completely within the last century from anything that could have been imagined in the past. Discoveries in cosmology and evolutionary biology, in computer science and solid-state physics have revolutionized human thinking in fundamental ways. This book assumes that these new scientific discoveries are basically correct. Scientists' findings are, of course, always revisable, and many of them will almost certainly need to be revised in the light of further research. But they provide the best information we have about the nature of things, and the view they present is wondrous and astonishing. All past science has had to be rethought in the 21st century. That process of rethinking carries important implications for philosophy, morality, and religion. Religious beliefs cannot remain what they were before the rise of modern science any more than ancient scientific beliefs can. It would be absurd to insist that ancient religious beliefs should remain unchanged when our whole view of the universe has changed radically. But that thought raises the question of whether religious beliefs can survive at all in the scientific age. Have they been resoundingly outdated? Or is there in them something of great importance, even though the way they are expressed will have to change in the new scientific context? I have spent my academic life in the study of religions, especially of the intellectual beliefs of religions, beliefs about God or the ultimate nature of reality, about the soul and the possibility of immortality, about different ideas of revelation and religious experience. One result of this study has been to see that religious beliefs have usually been formulated in the light of the best available knowledge about the universe that existed at the time. This leads to the conclusion that the unprecedented and revolutionary changes in scientific knowledge of our age will involve a new formulation of ancient religious beliefs. But my study has also led me to believe that there is a distinctive central core of religious belief that has something to contribute to human knowledge and understanding, and that is quite different from scientific knowledge. To put it very briefly, there is a non-physical reality, or realities, that is of supreme value, and that humans can become aware of it through various forms of prayer or meditation. In the great religious traditions, this supreme value is said to have the nature of consciousness, intelligence, compassion, and bliss. Human awareness of it is meant to lead to the realization of those qualities in the human world, and to the cessation of all forms of egoism and selfish desire. Religious views usually stress, however, that as human life is in bondage to egoism, to hatred, greed, and ignorance, the way to union with supreme value is hard to find, and even harder to pursue successfully. Religious life is thus often a matter of intense personal struggle and even conflict, as hatred, greed, and ignorance continually threaten to undermine the highest human aims and ambitions. Science will not resolve these deep, existential struggles, but science can help to dispel ignorance about the universe and bring some clarity about the relation of the objective supreme value postulated by religion to the observed nature of the physical universe. It may even help to clarify the nature and possible purposes of a being of supreme value. Many of the greatest natural scientists have been religious believers, and have seen their investigations as ways of seeking to understand the wisdom and glory of God in nature. But some scientists and philosophers have argued that only the methods of science can reveal truth about the universe, and that religion is intrinsically anti-scientific and superstitious. So science has been used both as a support for religion and as a way of undermining religion. That ambiguity remains and must be reflected in any fair treatment of science and religion. In this book I have selected what I think are the 10 most basic questions about the nature of the universe and about human life. Questions that involve both science and religion, and the relationship between them. I have attached a sub-question to each main question, appearing in parentheses below the big question that introduces each chapter, to emphasize an important issue to which the main question is of primary relevance. Thus, the problem of the prevalence of suffering in the world, a major problem for any religious view, is a sub-question to which an understanding of evolution is most relevant. And the question of what it means for humans to have free will, a major problem in religion, philosophy, and jurisprudence, I have put as a sub-question to an analysis of the nature of space-time. I hope the relation of sub-questions to the major questions will be fairly clear in each case. Since my own expertise is in the study of world religions, I have tried to describe religious views in as global and comprehensive a way as possible. I try to show the relation between diverse religious views, and how new scientific knowledge may have an impact upon them. It is a fairly unusual feature of the book that the world's religious traditions are considered seriously across a wide range, and this may have its own interest as an analysis of the nature of religious belief. It has been my great privilege, largely thanks to the Templeton Foundation, to meet some of the world's most eminent scientists and to discuss these topics with them. I think I should mention that I have met more atheists at Templeton-sponsored conferences than anywhere else, so the accusation sometimes made that the Foundation is biased in favor of religion is quite incorrect and grossly unfair. Nevertheless, since such conferences are usually about science and religion, and since quite a lot of scientists are religious, it is not surprising that there are attempts by religious believers to portray the relation of religion and science in a positive way. I myself am an Anglican minister, and so I'm rather unlikely to conclude that religion is outdated superstition. But that does not mean I have a closed mind. I was once an atheist, and only became a believer after I opened my mind to things I had not previously considered with proper attention. But I remember what it was like to be an atheist, and have tried to present the anti-religious case in an unprejudiced way. So, while putting a case for a positive and healthy relation between religion and science, I have also presented the problematic points and the main opposing views as fairly as I can. I am not a professional scientist, but an enthusiastic, even zealous lover of science and overhearer of scientists. I have done my best to get the science right. I have checked it in every case with experts, but the views I express about the nature and limits of science are my own. I believe that the questions with which this book deals are the greatest intellectual and existential questions facing any thoughtful person in the modern scientific age, whether such persons are religious or not. So, the main purpose of the book is to convey the depth, difficulty, intellectual excitement, and importance of these big questions. My hope is that it may also convey an understanding of the nature of science and of religion. As such, it is a brief record of some of the most impressive achievements of the human mind, and of some of the deepest unresolved questions that continue to confront all who agree with Plato that the unexamined life is not worth living.